Well, hello there. Welcome to the Best of Paul Mash TV Volume 2. I don't know if anybody remembers, but back after the 100th episode, we had a Best of Paul Mash TV Volume 1. But we never did get around to doing a second one after the 200th, 300th, and 400th episode, so we thought we'd make up for it now by having after the 500 episodes, which we just had yesterday. So we hope that you enjoy this collection of interviews. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll always get the latest interviews whenever they become available. And we love to hear from you in the comment section, so leave a comment there. And don't forget on Facebook, it's facebook.com/PaulMashTV. Remember to like the page and comment on everything you see, and even send us an inbox. We love to hear from you there. And if you got email, and obviously everybody does, you can email me at paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And it's not just for bands or solo artists that want to be on the show, but if you're simply a fan, we'd love to hear from you there as well. So drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. And always remember, at 6 o'clock on Wednesday Central Time, go to Roku's channel Smile World TV, and you can check out one of my episodes there. And all of this is going to be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. And as I said, this is the second volume, and we're going to be highlighting some of the artists for you. Jim West of Weird Al Yankovic. We got Chelsea Householder, Bossalina, Vero G, and we got Angela Marie Monroe. She played Angela Monroe, the Marilyn Monroe tribute. And finally we got Jay Juice. And all that will be coming up for you in the next hour, so I hope you'll enjoy that. And before we get into the show, I just want to take time to thank all of my promoters and fans that have been through me these last 8 years or so that I've been doing this interview thing. Some of my promoters are Country Roads Records, Real Country Records, Ecoda Records, Dollar for Dollar Entertainment. I can sit here all day and name all of them, but obviously, Killer Collab Entertainment. It would take a long time to tell them all, so I don't want to waste any more time on that. But if I forgot you, or if I just didn't get a chance to talk to you or tell you about that, if you're watching, please know that you're in my hearts no matter what. So we're going to go ahead and start the show now, and we hope you enjoy this collection of an hour of Best of Paul Mash TV. So let's start the show right now. Of Paul Mash TV. We're glad that you could join us, and we have a special guest with us today. You might know him as the lead guitarist of Weird Al Yankovic. Please welcome Jim West. Thanks
How's it going? Aloha.
We're glad that you could join us. He's from Los Angeles, California, of course, and last time we had someone from your band on our show, it was Bermuda, and he was a very nice guy to talk to. I'm hoping to get a couple of your others, such as Steve and Ruben, and maybe even Al himself, but I can't seem to get a hold of Al.
He's a busy guy.
yeah, exactly. And even Bermuda himself said he was going to try to see if he could contact him, tell him about the interview, and then maybe he could get on, but I never heard word. But hopefully one day.
Sure.
So I guess we can start off by saying how did you get involved in music, and how did you get in contact with Al, and maybe you could spend a little bit of time talking about that.
Well, yeah, I started playing guitar when I was about 12. My older brother had played guitar, just for fun, and he had an old guitar lying around in the closet, and one day I just looked at that thing and started playing around on it, even though it only had like 3 strings on it. And so he saw that I was interested in it, so he went out and got some new strings, and he got me a little book and a capo and this kind of stuff. And so I started, I don't know, I was just from the get-go I was really interested in guitar, and I just played all the time. And then I started playing in bands when I was about 16. This was in Florida. I grew up in Florida. So, I started playing electric guitar by that point. I started off on acoustic, but I always kept playing acoustic as well. So And then at a certain point, I moved to Los Angeles way back in the early '80s, and that's when I met Al, just sort of by fluke. And he needed a guitar player, and so I started playing some shows with Al, and this was about the time of his very first record. I wasn't on the very first record. I think I might be on there on some hand claps or something, but starting with the record with in 3D, that's when I started being on the records. Right. So anyway, yeah, it was one of those things. You come to LA, and the last thing you expect is you're going to be in a band with a guy who plays accordion.
Has any musicians ever influenced you in your playing? Maybe you could talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, when I first started playing guitar, it was acoustic. So, the records I was hearing mostly were my older brother's records, and he was kind of into folk music and finger picking and all that, which has served me well. I learned how to finger pick early on, and so that actually has been a great, help for me, because now that I play this Hawaiian slack key guitar, that's what I do when I'm not playing with Al. That's a finger picking style. So I started off being influenced by, kind of folk music and the records that he had, and then, and then I started getting into my own music that I started buying records, and I was buying things like Led Zeppelin and stuff like that, and getting into heavier music, and, that influenced my my electric guitar style, Jimi Hendrix too, and, the Cream and all those kind of bands from way back in those days. I really liked that old 60s, late 60s sound. And then I, especially was influenced by Led Zeppelin a lot. And, so over the years, I started off with folk, and then I got more of a rock influence. And then many years later, I started listening to other stuff, classical music, jazz, world music. And I got really influenced, by all that. So I've had kind of a big range. And of course, back in the mid-'80s, after I met Al, I went to Hawaii and got influenced by this Hawaiian style of guitar playing called slack key guitar, or kihoalo. So that's been a big influence too. So I have a pretty wide range of influences.
Okay, well that's good, because I noticed that every time you play with Al, you always have different styles of music as well. I mean, like I said, I know it hasn't happened very many times, but I know you, your band has played a couple country songs, like the truck driving song, and then of course the Achy Breaky parody of Achy Breaky Song, and a couple others. So I mean, I don't think there's really a style that I haven't heard Al do, really.
Yeah, right, yeah. Well, that's it keeps you on your toes, of course, most musicians like myself who start off playing in rock and roll, we all play in cover bands where you're playing a lot of different styles, so that served me well, playing a lot of different styles over the years. And, like you were saying with Al, it can be just about any style imaginable.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about, I know you have some albums that you've had out over the years. Maybe you could talk about some of them?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've always written music over the years, and I've written a lot of music, just for fun, and I record stuff, but I never really did much with it. I even worked for quite a while. I worked for writing music for TV and film. I still do a little of that now, not much, but I used to do a lot of that, and that was, basically work for hire, where you're hired to create a certain sound. But once I get into, this Hawaiian slack key guitar stuff, I started writing some of my own Hawaiian slack key guitar songs, and that was in the mid-'90s. And then at a certain point, I'd record them just so that I wouldn't forget them, And at a certain point, I had a dozen or so songs, and somebody said, well, you should make a CD. And I had about that, but that's, I ended up putting out my first CD, Coconut Hat, in 1999. And it was well received, and so I just was inspired to keep doing it. So now at this point, I've put out 7 CDs under my own name, and I've also done a couple CDs for CMH Records, and then now recently a CD with Ken Emerson, that's duet CD. So I've got probably 10 or 11 CDs out there.
Wow.
over the years.
Yeah. You just mentioned a minute ago, by the way, that was one question I was going to ask you. You have that album Coconut Hat, and I know that Al had an album called Poodle Hat. Is there any kind of affiliation there somehow?
Well, Coconut Hat was definitely before Poodle Hat. So, some people have asked me that. Do you think he was, it was a bit of a comment on Coconut Hat? It could be, who knows,
Excuse me, I just felt, that sounds like something Al would come up with. My guitar player has an album called Coconut Hat. Let's just make this one Poodle Hat, just to kind of make fun of his album. You know what I mean?
Well, if that's the case, it was an honor.
Alrighty. Yeah, I noticed that especially like on your albums and your Facebook page, you call yourself Chemo West. Is that your real middle name, or is that just a name that
No, my real middle name is Stephen, but in Hawaii, everybody calls me Chemo. In Hawaii, they don't have all the same consonants that we have. They don't have a J in the language, for example. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, they have Hawaiian versions of the name. So if you're Jim or James, they call you Chemo. So all my Hawaiian friends call me Chemo. And then, everybody else in England knows me as Jim. So I thought, well, I better be Jim Chemo, because that way it covers all the bases.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess that answers that, I guess.
Yeah, and if you're Robert, you would be called Lopaka. So they have different Hawaiian names, basically because they don't have those same consonants in the language.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was wondering about that. Well, I think that's about all I can think of right now, but I know you're going to be playing a song with us very shortly. Do you want to talk to us about it? Maybe you can give us the name of it?
Yeah, I think I'll play a song called Aloha Kauai, and it's a song that's usually sung. It has lyrics and melody, but I'll just play it instrumentally. Okay. So it features the guitar that way. And it's it's a song. I love the island of Kauai. I go there every year, and it's the lyrics of the song talk about the Mokihana flower, which is each island has its own island flower. So the Mokihana is the flower of Kauai, and essentially it talks about the beauty of Kauai and the Mokihana flower. But like I said, I'm just going to be playing it instrumentally, and that's about it for that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll be right back for that in just a moment. But I want to thank you again for stopping by. And if anytime you want to come by the show and plug something else, you're always welcome to come back, Jim.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Mahalo.
Okay. And we'll be right back in just 1 second. Okay, it's time for our interview, and with us from Salineville, Ohio, we have Chelsea Householder. Thanks for joining us, Chelsea.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you on the show today. Why don't we start by the obvious question I ask around here, because everybody has their own story, but tell us a little bit about how it started for you as being an artist.
Well, I just, even from an early age, something just always clicked with me with music. Even there's home videos of me like 2, 3 years old, just watching MTV videos and CMT videos, just really attracted to music from a very young age. And I started singing at churches and different events. And then as I got older, I started really pursuing it more. I did a couple singing contests. In 2009, I was in a singing contest at a local community college and won. And in 2011, I was in another contest in PA and took third place. So doing those contests really made me realize that that's really what I wanted to do in my life. And then second contest I was in, I took third. I met a man by Slim Leehart, and he really liked my old style of country music. And he actually asked me to tour with him. He does all the traditional country. And 3-4 years, I toured all around Ohio, PA, West Virginia with him. I really, enjoyed that. We got to travel to, just really enjoyed that time with him, and he taught me a lot more about country music. Different change for me because they do classic rock, and I'm usually traditional country, but they've started to mix some country in there, and I've tried to learn to adapt and everything. So I'm kind of crossing a little bit into the rock side too, but traditionally I'm more into the old country.
Well, that's quite a story there, Chelsea. Glad you're doing what you do and helping the country artists out there. That's pretty good. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your influences? I mean, I'm sure you have some influences that influence you in your songwriting and singing melodies and so forth.
Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, Willie Nelson, all that old, classic country sound. And it's kind of funny, but when I was younger, actually Elvis Presley was a big influence on me. I always, for some reason, loved Elvis, even from a young age. So I guess a little bit of the grit in my voice comes from Elvis, just listening to him all the time. So I'm definitely a big fan of the oldies for sure.
Okay. Yeah, and I can tell with Patsy Cline, I mean, you can't go wrong with the legends like her. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, tell everybody where we can find you at. I mean, I'm sure it's on all streaming platforms, but if you got physical copies, you can volunteer that as well.
I am available on, I have a YouTube channel under Chelsea Householder. I also am on Spotify and iTunes. I have my gospel EP called Old Time Religion on there. And I have a few cover songs also on Spotify, and I'm hoping to get some more, originals out there soon.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody get Chelsea Householder's music. I know she'd love you for that. And speaking of videos, we have a song for you coming up. Tell us the name of that song, and if there's a story behind it, we'd love to hear it.
Yes, I actually co-wrote this song with a guy by the name of John Drimby. The song is called "The Woman I Am Today," and he contacted me. He's a songwriter in Michigan and found me on Facebook, and he wanted to write a song around Mother's Day just to talk about how your mother influenced you in your life. So we got together and wrote this song, and it kind of talks about how my grandmother influenced me, how my mom influenced me, and how, one day if I ever would have a daughter, how I hope to pass, the things I've learned from them on to them. So.
Oh, okay. Well, it is a good song. I heard it earlier, and I know everybody out there is dying to hear it. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But before we do, I think that's all we need for right now, Chelsea. But we would love to have you back sometime. So if you have anything.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, let's get right to that song right here on Paul Nash TV, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Grandma Betty lived in a house just down the street. She taught me how to appreciate and taught me how to pray. She read me Bible stories and sent me out to play. And in church every Sunday she made sure my soul was saved. I called her yesterday just so I could say I am today. My mama tell me, showed me the beauty and grace. She taught me how to be a lady and time as she relates. She showed me how to love and give and bake me birthday cakes, and taught me that in life sometimes we all can make mistakes. I called her yesterday just so I could say thank you so much, Mama, for the woman I am today. For the woman I am today. I know what is right and wrong, and in God I have faith. And this here little song is just my way of saying thanks for the woman I am today. Someday maybe I'll have a daughter of my own. All those little lessons learned will I'll be passing on, helping her learn and grow just like they did for me. The most important things in life are love and family. Now it's up to me to make sure that she's free and grows into a woman that she is bound to be. That she is bound to be.
Okay, and here we are with the interview, and with us from San Antonio, Texas, we have Bosselina. Thanks for joining us, Bosselina.
Hey, how's it going, Paul?
Oh, no, doing pretty good here. I'm glad that you're here with us today.
Thank you.
Okay, well, how did it get started for you? I mean, I'm sure you've always wanted to be an artist when you grew up, but maybe it goes deeper than that. Tell us in your own words.
I mean, just growing up, being around music, inspired me to do music. I would say probably as a young child, starting doing talent shows, doing family talent shows, and like I said, my family being into music. My dad's a DJ, so bringing a lot of music and just growing up watching him being a DJ. And then my brother got into bands and started playing music, reggae bands, and a lot of that just inspired me growing up, and I just wanted to be a musician. So back in high school, I was dabbling into music.
Okay, well, that's quite a good story, and I'm glad that you decided to, pick a career in it.
Take it to another level, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, so what were some of the artists that influenced you? I mean, I'm sure there's some mainstream artists that helped you with your singing and songwriting and so forth.
I've been influenced by just, like I said, when my brother had his band, I kind of looked at that a lot, and I would see them do a lot of shows and see them do a lot of things. So that's what inspired me to write my first song. So then once I finished and recorded my first song, then from there it was like, okay, I'm ready to go to the studio and really started taking it to another level. And I honestly never looked back, never, So being around my brother and them kind of inspired me more. Even though I would look at mainstream artists, I've never had a mainstream artist that I looked up to, because I looked up to more of my family than a mainstream artist. You know what I mean? I liked their craft, but they never really inspired me. More people around me inspired me more than mainstream.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you still found a calling anyway.
Yeah.
And so, tell us, everybody, where we can find you at. I mean, I'm sure you're on Facebook. Maybe you're on some of the streaming platforms like iTunes and so forth.
You can find on Spotify at Bossalina, Bossalena. You can find me on YouTube at Official Bossalina. You can find me on Twitter. I'm on SoundCloud. I have some a lot of music. If you want to download some free music, you can go to datpiff.com and search Bossalina, and a lot of my mixtapes will pop up. So you'll be able to download some free music or go to any platform, streaming platform, and type in Bossalina, and you'll see 3, 4, 5 albums also.
Okay. Well, everybody get Bossalina's albums. I know she loves that. So.
Oh yes. I'm dropping some new stuff. Matter of fact, I'm dropping a new single on Friday. I'm dropping a new single on Friday called "Can't Stop My Wave," and then I have a new video dropping in 2 weeks. So I'm sure I would send that to you to make sure you get that up in the mix. So yeah, I can't wait to drop that video. That video is going to be pretty dope. But the single drops on Friday, and the video dropped 2 weeks after the single.
Okay. Well, I know everybody's waiting for that too. So stay tuned for that.
Oh
yeah. And before we go, I know you have a music video for us. Why don't you tell us the name of it and tell us if there's a story behind it? We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, it's called "Ain't No Party," and basically, I perform a lot, so I've always been into the club scene just to see the reactions and the energy of people. So that kind of created this song. So that's what inspired this song. It was more or less of I wanted people to party and dance with me. So it's more of like a dance rhythm vibe more than an actual lyrical in-depth song. You know what I mean? So it's more of a club banger. And it was just one of those type of songs that I felt that I could create an anthem with. So it's more like an anthem type track. So it really inspired the whole video. I actually shot the video in Las Vegas. I had a birthday party in Vegas that I did, and brought everybody with me and shot the video in Las Vegas.
Okay. Well, I did watch the video. As a matter of fact, I watched it a couple of times. I really love the song, and
Thank you.
And I know everybody out there is waiting to see that too, and we'll get to that in just a second. But I guess that's all the time we have for right now, Bossalina. But maybe one day you can come back and plug something else for us if you'd like.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna plug something else for you. I'm gonna plug "We Can't Stop My Wave." That's gonna be the next plug I'll be back on in a couple more weeks. You'll see me.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a regular on the show, Paul.
Okay. Well, we'll be looking forward to that, and let's go ahead and watch it. Ain't No Party by Bossalina right here on Paul Mash TV. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Woo! Hey, hey, hey. What up, Mars OG? Let's go. Floaters up. Hey, hey. Boss, I'm the truth. Let them know what. Boss, I'm the truth. I be in your city. In your city. All my niggas with me, hey, hey. Oh, where your dough at? Where your dough at? Oh, where your dough at? I be in your city. In your city. All my niggas with me, where you be at? Compton is the city. My floaters in the building. Hey, hey. Posted at my granny house. What you mean? Texas got them blammers out. Choppers come from Mexico. I'm the boss, yeah I know. I'm serious and I do this, man. Don't make me have to go off, man. Pop shit and get murked quick. No roof, I tear off the bitch. My whole crew, we top shit. Oh, where your dough at? Where your dough at? Come see where boss at. West Coast party, cause the West Coast party don't stop. And get up, and get down, and get up, and get down, and get up, and get down, and get up, and get down. Well, I'm out step in the club, they just play your mom music. I just lose it, get the step in the moving and get the grooving. Feeling the music, feeling it down deep in my soul. Can't help it, but I want you to feel it. Now here we go. I'm going high speed, fuck a red light. All I wanna do is have a good time. Smoke a couple blunts, sip a little wine. Got a couple with me and they all dime. About to take it back, BWA. I'm the future, boss of LA. The function active, you know who I is. Where the party at, West Coast, bitch. Yeah, I'm from
Popping out just on the grind.
Hey! Drink.
All the way down. Yeah.
Keep it drippin' till I fade out. Hey! Mama fucking with me way before a nigga paid out. Yeah. Popping up just on the grind. Hey! We don't got issues with time. I just put up with the boy.
Okay, it's interview time once again, and with us from Manhattan, New York, we have Beryl G. Thanks for joining us, Beryl.
Oh, not a problem, Paul. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to have you on the show today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how it all began for you as an artist? I mean, maybe you've always wanted to be a musician. I mean, everyone has their own story. Let's hear your story.
Definitely. So yeah, we have to go way back, but I'll make it short. So pretty much, it started many years ago. I will say, at the age of 7 years old, I always had music in me, in my blood. It was just something I had a passion for, and to that point on, I felt like it was meant to happen down the line. And further down, to that point of the music career, they call it, I was in my school choir. I actually worked with Al Sharpton for the, it was called Change Choir. I was there for like maybe a year or so. And then I had to leave because I was going to school at the same time. So it was too much going on. But down the line, I started making, I started doing open mics, showcases, writing my own music. And to the point now where I'm working as we speak right now, my third album, Victory, should be out by next month or so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a pretty good story, I think. And
Thank you.
glad you're doing what you love there. So,
So
what would you say some of your biggest influences in the music world to you are?
That's a good question. There's so many. That's the thing. I will lose count of it, but the few I do know that I could always mention is, of course, Mariah Carey. That's hands down. Whitney Houston, rest in peace. I will say the original Selena, not the Selena Gomez. I meant the first one. And I mean the list goes on, but these are just people that I idolize, and Celine Dion as well, of course. Just people that I idolize a lot in the music.
Okay, and people helped influence your songwriting as well, I'm sure.
Definitely.
So why don't you tell me about where we can find your music? I mean, I'm sure it's on streaming. Maybe you can let us know what you like.
Sure, definitely. Well, you guys could definitely check out all my music or anything else at my website at www.verogmusic.com. I also have singles already out on StreamYard. I'm not sure if you get streaming on Spotify. The list goes on Deezer, iTunes, Apple Music, also for everything else is there. So definitely just check out, just put Vero G under those platforms you guys can find me.
Okay, well, everybody do that. I'm sure that Vero will appreciate that, and I will get that music out there, and it's really good, obviously. And speaking again of your music, just a minute or so, we're going to be playing one of your music videos. Can you tell us what the title is and if there's a story behind it?
Yes, thank you so much, Paul. Yes, definitely. Okay, so the video guys will be seeing in a few. It's called "Don't Cry." It's basically the story behind that is actually a true story of my own story, being a domestic violence survivor, and it's kind of going towards a friend who was calling a friend who was going through it at the time where she went through it. So she's kind of helping her coping through the situation to get out of that abusive relationship. And the song is very inspirational, very powerful. And I feel like, this will be something that, especially now with COVID was going on, and a lot of women or men who are abused by their spouse can't really leave. So I feel like this is the perfect time to release that because we need some inspiration during these tough times.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and as I said a minute ago, it is a pretty good song. Don't Cry, it was. I'm sure you're really gonna love that, and we'll watch that in just a moment. But before we do, I think that's all the time we have for right now, Vero. And we enjoyed having you on the show. We'd love to have you back sometime if you ever want to plug anything good for us.
Oh, I appreciate that.
All right, let's watch that video. Don't Cry. Here on Paul Mention.
watch you cry. He's not worth your time playing those games. It's time to say goodbye. He made a fool of you, took your innocence, took your common sense. You're his property, act like this is the norm. He ain't no good for you. Better leave before it gets too late. Gotta be strong, strong. There'll be better days, just move on. Find someone worth your time that appreciates your mind, your love, your heart, your everything. You're beautiful in every way. Don't let no one take that away. You're a gem, gem, gem. In many ways, just know that I'm there for you. I'm a phone call away. If he hurts you, I will break his face. Make sure he will be replaced. He will never hurt or call you. Cut your ties and start all over. Start all over. Start all over, over, over. I've been there in your shoes, torn in pieces, didn't know what to do. Was weak and broken from a man who I thought he loved me, told me sweet things, but only lies and being mean broke my spirit and my heart left me in the cold to rot and die. Put fear in me, didn't believe in me. Crushed my dreams, crushed my life, crushed my thoughts, until I woke up from this hell to get out and get away, to start my life in a better place. Wipe these tears that he has caused. So now you see, I've been there too. You're not alone, 'cause you got me to let my pain be your story, to open your eyes, eyes. Know that there is so much to life, to see the beauty all around you is more to see, 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 see.
Well, hello again. It's time for interview time, and we got from Saskatchewan, Canada, we got Angelyn Monroe. Thanks for joining us, Angelyn.
Well, thanks, Paul, for having me today.
And as you can tell, she's a Marilyn Monroe tribute artist, and we're glad to have them. And she works for a company called AMM Music Productions, and we're going to have a few more tribute artists in the future from her. So we want to thank you for that. Was it really, Marilyn, they got you to, motivated to do this kind of business? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, I actually found Marilyn kind of in a place where it was a kind of a sad place. In her last interview, she kind of was a little bit sad, a little bit upset about the way Hollywood treated her. And then things kind of took a turn for the worse for her. And I kind of feel that I found her we found each other in darkness, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want to go too much into detail about about it because I'm not ready to talk about it, but I found her when I was suffering a loss, and some unforeseen things happened in my life, and I kind of got left alone for a while. And I found her when I was alone, if that makes any kind of sense at all.
Okay. Well, were there any other artists that motivated you? Because I know you have a lot of artists there. Maybe some of the ones that they do motivated you. Maybe you have others. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that would be more on the brighter side. I actually have been following Madonna before I even found Marilyn. And so Madonna's been a big inspiration to me. And then I was like, well, who did Madonna kind of like? And then I realized in her Like a Virgin video, she dressed up as Marilyn Monroe in the pink dress and the diamond kind of scene. And that's when I kind of really found out, well, kind of an older generation of stars and interesting people. And that's how another way I tied into Marilyn Monroe in a more positive way.
Okay. Yeah, and also she did in Living in a Material World. That was another song Madonna did where she dressed like Marilyn Monroe, I do believe. So that was a good song there, obviously.
Oh, actually, you know what? It was Material Girls that she did it, not Like a Virgin. I was getting confused with another song that Motley Crue did, which is another one of the tribute artists that hopefully are going to come on here soon. That's what.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I know you probably have songs for people to listen to as far as as far as Marilyn goes. I mean, where could you go to do that? Could you go like on iTunes? I'm sure. I know you have stuff on YouTube as well, which we're getting ready to watch in a moment here.
Yeah. What I did before I started, I felt very comfortable singing Marilyn Monroe songs. I felt like my voice and everything about her kind of matched me a lot better. So what I did is I was working with some people down in the United States on a song called Dancing Angel. And I actually had my friend Mac T and Clint Walker, they did a CD for me, and it's called Dancing Angel, and they featured me as the cover girl model. And then one of the songs was tributed for me to sing. So that's how that all started. And then now I just kind of decided to start going into the recording studio. And there's this really beautiful, amazing recording studio in town here that I go down and started doing some Marilyn Monroe songs. So you can see some of them on YouTube if you Google or if you go to YouTube and type in AMM Music Productions Angelyn Monroe, you'll see I hosted and did my own show.
Okay. And I know you recently you were doing a tribute thing to Marilyn in a what is it? It was like a Make-A-Wish type thing. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that and how interesting that was, or how good that was, whatever.
Yeah, sure. That was really neat because it was for Telemiracle.
Telemiracle, that's the one.
Yep, Telemiracle, and they've been doing this for 43 years and raising funds for disabled people or hurt people, injured people. And so what they do is they provide equipment like wheelchairs and equipment to help people. So that was really, really a beautiful stage. That was in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And amazing people, amazing show, amazing stage, beautiful. And I got to raise some funds with these little helping hands that they have. Mm-hmm. And so that was really cool. They're posted on the front of my little bungalow, all the little helping hands with people's names on it. So that was really something Marilyn also liked to do was to get involved with helping people. So she was the same thing. She liked to do that. That made her really feel good to help other people.
Okay, well, that's good. And we're getting ready to watch a video of you doing I Want to Be Loved by You. And I think you've done that probably more than any of the other Marilyn Monroe songs, I do believe. And I don't think she's done very many songs anyway, I think. But I think it's pretty good. Do you think that was probably one of the reasons why you like to sing that a lot?
I felt that my voice worked with that song, and I could remember the lyrics the best on that one.
Okay.
Diamonds is a little bit more of a longer song and more lyrics. So Marilyn had problems remembering her lines, and I have a little bit of problems remembering my lyrics. So I try to pick easy songs like Happy Birthday and I Want to Be Loved by You. I like to do My Heart Belongs to Daddy. And there's another one called I'm Through with Love. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to watch that in just a second. But thanks again, Angelyn, for being on the show. Maybe one day we'll have you back if you're interested, and we'll go from there.
That sounds really good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. And here's I Want to Be Loved by You by Angelyn Monroe, and we'll be right back.
I want to be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I want to be loved by you alone. Boop, boop-be-doo. I want to be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I want to be kissed by you alone. I couldn't aspire to anything higher than to feel that desire to make you my own. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-doodly-dum, boo. I want to be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I want to be loved by you alone. I don't mind living in a man's world as long as I get to be the woman in it. And thank you, Telemiracle, you're so lovely. I couldn't aspire to anything higher than to feel the desire to make you my own. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-doodly-dum, boo. I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, but dilly-dilly-dilly-dum, boop-boop-be-doo.
Angelyn Monroe.
Okay, it's interview time, and with us from Columbia, South Carolina, we have Jay Juice. Thanks for joining us, Jay.
Man, thank you, Paul. Man, thank you. Paul Mass TV. That's the real new independent right now for 2020, taking over, bringing all the independent to the light. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate that, man. You made my day there. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Jay Juice, how he decided he wanted to become a musician? I mean, everybody's got their own story, so let's hear your story.
Okay, well, my story, basically, I'm from New York. I joined the Army, got out of the Army, and then a buddy of mine, we set up this group in South Carolina named Them Boys back in the days. We used to make booty music, and then we got signed with a major label. Did pretty good. We sold probably like 500,000 copies. Then after that, the group broke up. Everybody went on their own, and then I basically started doing my own stuff. And and ever since, I just been doing music. I love it.
Okay, well that sounds good, man. I'm glad you're making people happy with your music. That's what it's all about, anyway. So, why don't you tell us about some of the mainstream influences that influence you in your songwriting? I mean, I'm sure there's a few out there that come to your mind.
Yeah, well, influence really it's been like Puff Daddy, people like mogul stuff like that, like Jay-Z, Master P, Dr. Dre, and even Will Smith. So I like people like that, positive, but also on the business type of person that they kind of take care of the music as a business. They treat it as a business. So I love that that part of, they treat it as a business and doing the artist part, but also doing the business part. And I just like those guys, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, especially as the one you mentioned, Will Smith. I mean, he was a pretty good actor too. So
yes.
So yeah, and I've always liked Will Smith songs. So why don't you tell us about your music? I mean, where can we find it? I mean, I'm sure it's all streaming, but maybe you have physical copies like CDs or something. But if you do, let us know about that as well.
Okay. Well, it's 2020. There's no more CDs. But I do have a couple CDs with me that I carry with me when I do shows, But all my songs, you can find them on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Tidal. You can find it any digital store. You can get my songs. My type of music is more like fun, energetic, where people can just have fun and enjoy yourself. If you go and play one of my songs, for example, do the bird dance or shake a leg, 9 out of 10, you're gonna get on the floor. Even if you don't know how to dance, you're gonna get on the floor and start dancing and feeling happy and just enjoying it. With all this negative stuff that is out there, with the CV, coronavirus and all this other stuff, sometimes you need a positive music to put you on a different kind of zone, kind of dimension where you can just be happy, because most people don't understand that when you dancing, you feel happy, and when you're happy, you stay healthy. When you're healthy, you just get happy, and you just continue going circle and all that. So it's good to have that type of music that I'm putting out there, that fun kind of music.
Okay. Yeah, and so everybody out there, just go to your favorite streaming site, like you mentioned, and look for J Juice, and download a song. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. The song you were just talking about a minute, Shake a Leg, I think you said the name of it was. That's a pretty good song, actually, and I know everybody's waiting to see that. Now, is there a story behind it, or is it just pretty much self-explanatory?
Oh, believe it or not, that song, when you listen to it, you're going to say, hey, man, that sounds like this other group. I'm going to let you go on YouTube and go and find it. Go on the YouTube, go on the J Juice Shake a Leg official video, and you're going to see. But the dance, basically, it was just a dance that we created way back. And I never put it out, but I decided to put it out now. And then it ended up going viral on Facebook. Ended up having 126,000 views. And on YouTube, I believe it got like 39,000 views. So that's pretty good for somebody that, that haven't put it on the radio or is now promoted, by a major label. So that's pretty good. Then the other one, which is the newest one, is Do the Bird Dance. This is new. I just dropped it just now, probably 2 months ago. And basically it's doing pretty good on Spotify. Already got 41,000 streams on Spotify. And on YouTube, I think it got already 9,000 views or something like that. And on Facebook, I believe it got, I can't remember the number, but I think it got 39,000 views. So it's doing pretty good, It's stuff that you can tell that people looking for fun music. They want to be entertained. And with my music, you will get entertained. Oh, by the way, go on YouTube, check the video, J Juice Shake a Leg and J Juice Do the Bird Dance. Check those 2 videos. I guarantee you're going to be entertained. You're going to laugh. You're going to enjoy yourself. And it's for the whole family. It's something that you can watch with your kids. You can watch it with the grown-ups, with your friend. It doesn't matter. Anybody can watch it and enjoy it. That's what we're trying to push right there, for people can enjoy it. Everybody, the whole family.
Okay. Yeah, and of course, one thing I liked about your Shake a Leg song is how it had the theme song to Green Acres in the song, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So you'll catch that when you're watching the video and listening to the song there. So I guess we'll be watching that in just a moment or so, but J Juice, we want to thank you again for coming on the show. You're welcome back anytime you want to plug something new if you'd like to come back.
Yes, they'll definitely. Thank you for having me, and I want everybody to follow me on social media, JJuice803, JJuice803. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any social media, and TikTok. Make sure you do the dance. Put your own video on TikTok. There's a couple kids. I've seen them do the video, and it's already going viral. So you, my friend, can be first. I'm telling you right now, you heard it first right here at Paul Mass TV. You can do your own TikTok. Don't wait for the major label to pick it up. You do your own video. Be a leader. Don't be a follower. Make your own video. Make it go viral. And then when the major label comes, you say, hey, man, I saw J Juice way back at Paul Mass TV. I did my own TikTok video. Hey, there it is. You're a leader. You are a leader. Follow, follow, follow.
Well, that's good advice, J Juice, and appreciate that. So let's get right to the video here. Here's Shake a Leg by J Juice right here on Paul Mash TV. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Princess, what are you watching?
J Juice.
Who's that?
He's an artist. This is his new song, Shake a Leg.